Hi, Robbie here. It's another Thursday morning, and today I'm thinking about being skeptical. Do you tend to believe everything you hear or read? Well, I'm having a hard time believing a lot of things that I hear and read. Uh, I'll tell you what I mean. Uh, about 100 years ago, in the early 1920s, there was a very famous celebrity named Will Rogers. He was a star of vaudeville in those days, and he used to have a comedy act where he would do a few rope tricks every once in a while and talk about social commentary. He would open his act by saying, "Well, what shall I talk about today? I don't have anything really funny. All I know is what I just read in the newspapers." Well, and then he'd go on to talk about the news of the day and poke fun at everything that deserved to be ridiculed or at least commented on. Uh, these days, we can read the papers, but we know a lot more than just what we read in the papers. We've got media, mainstream media and not so mainstream media. There's a ton of magazines and ton of books. There are lots of radio stations, TV stations, and of course there's social media, Facebook and Twitter and the like. Well, anybody can say anything, and most most of the things that people say these days are not supported by a lot of solid evidence. There's not much to back up a lot of things that you hear about or you read about. So I'm kind of skeptical. Think for yourself. Think the next time you hear somebody comment on the TV or on social media, think, how do they know that? Are they really sure, or are they just making a good guess based on a narrow selection of a couple of pieces of probably prejudiced and biased information? Are they trying to connect the dots, and can they help draw a faulty conclusion because they just don't start with good information in the beginning? So I'm skeptical of most things I hear or read these days. It's not a happy way to be. So I hope to find myself with a better selection of news stories. You might like to think about where you're getting your news from these days. Well, that's what I'm thinking about today. That's what probably I'll be thinking about for the next week or so. But that's it for today, and I'll talk with you again next Thursday.